Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you might be joining me from. I am HR Funk, and you most certainly are not. I have an unusual circumstance this evening. I am at home all by myself. My wife and daughter are gone. So I thought, since I was just relaxing and enjoying the evening with a good Oktoberfest brew, I would fire up the computer and spend a portion of the evening with all of you. And I've mentioned before that this time of the year, from about the middle of August to late September, I look forward to every year when the Oktoberfest beers come out. And this is a pretty good one. This is a Breckenridge Brewery Oktoberfest that I'm having this evening. It's not my favorite. My favorite, I think, this year was the Shiner Oktoberfest that comes from a brewery down in Texas. And I thought, uh, I would have the Breckenridge Brewery this evening, mainly because I can't find the Shiner anymore. That's one of the strange things about the Oktoberfest beers, is that they tend to come out with like one batch, and I'll see it in the supermarket and I'll try something and I'll really like it, but when I go back the next time I can't find it anymore. My perennial favorite is Yingling's Oktoberfest, but that one, again, I found it one time early on, and it wasn't there when I went back. So this is not too bad, this Breckenridge Brewery. So I'm going to be enjoying that while I'm doing the live stream this evening. It looks like we already have 7 people in here. And I'm using my iPad again this evening. If you remember the last time I tried to use this, the comments that you have come up here for a few seconds and then they fade away. So if you post something and I don't see it and you really want to get it to me, feel free to post it again and I'll try to respond to those. I always like to respond to as many comments and questions as I can during the live streams. A few things about the channel. I've got some good videos coming up. I've been working on this series with the Marine Corps' new M18 pistol, and I'm comparing that to the past pistols that the Marine Corps has been using up to this point, basically the pistols that the M18 is going to be replacing. If you haven't gotten notices of any of those that have gone out, or you haven't gotten notices of any of my videos lately, it's because YouTube has been demonetizing them right and left. And when they demonetize a video, and it's really kind of a misnomer to say that they demonetize the video, what they do is restrict it from receiving ad revenue from most advertisers. Allegedly, there are some advertisers that if they want to attach their advertisement to something that's a little edgier in terms of content, they still can have ad revenue on these videos that they restrict. But it's sort of the death knell for views, because when YouTube restricts the ad revenue from these videos, they don't promote the video. So all the notices don't go out. It doesn't come up in the suggested videos that you see along the side when you're watching videos on YouTube. It doesn't autoplay as the next one up when you're watching a video, and it auto plays the next video. So it really puts a crimp in the view numbers that come in for the videos when they do that. So if you haven't gotten a notice of one of my videos lately, take a look on the channel, do a search, and see there may well be some videos that have come up that you just didn't get a notice of. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to have a swig of my Oktoberfest. I've seen some comments come up, and I'm going to try to get those back here. And let's see, Joe Morgan is here. I saw Art Grote. Dan the Wolfman is here. Thanks for joining me, Dan. By the way, Dan, I keep trying to find your new channel and it just doesn't come up. Pew Reviews, I think it is. And I keep looking for that. And when I do a search on YouTube, I just don't see it. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. There's Jeff Tim trying to catch your comment, Jeff. Um, Jeff doesn't even have his weekly pint, so I feel bad for you, Jeff. But like I said, I really like these. I have different beers that I drink different times during the year, and this time of year, I just always look forward to the Oktoberfest. When it gets cold out and we get more toward the winter time, then I like the dark beers. I like the stouts and the porters and things like that. In the summertime, when it's hot, I like the IPAs, the lighter beers. So I really drink different beers throughout the year, different times, just sort of based on the temperature and what's going on outside. Grey Dog is here. Thank you very much for joining. Joe Morgan, Oktoberfest is the best part of fall. I think I have to agree with that. Kathleen Music Lover is here. Thanks for joining, Kathleen. I'm glad you made it. And this was an unannounced live stream. I realized that, like I said, if you didn't catch the very beginning of the video, uh, I'm in one of these very rare circumstances where I'm home this evening all by myself, nothing going on. I don't have anything that I really need to attend to. So I thought I'd have a live stream. Um, I was talking about some of the things coming up on the channel. I've got a lot of things that are in the works, and some of these things have taken me a long time to get to. The video that's going to be coming up next Saturday is one that I've been wanting to get to since July, and I finally got out to the range earlier today and got that made. Oh, by the way, since I'm enjoying my Oktoberfest today, there's not going to be a non-firing replica firearm for the live stream tonight. I don't want to give anyone the idea that it's okay to mix non-firing replicas and alcohol, so no non-firing replicas this evening. And let me get back here. I can see some of these comments coming up. Nature's Best said went to Germany in the military during Oktoberfest. Can't think of a better time to go there. Dan the Wolfman, someone else said the same thing. Wonder if you get over 500 views, maybe. I don't know. I hope that comes up because I know you've been working on it. Chase Kelly is here. Thanks for joining. Ben Crane is here. Thanks for joining, Ben. Looks like he's talking to Patty Leather. Germans have the best drinking songs. Jeff Tim, select from pint containers at Publix, supermarket chain, like, I think this is supposed to be Heineken's, but they don't carry Guinness in pints anymore. And yeah, Guinness is one of those that I like, again, when it gets colder out, I enjoy a Guinness every now and then. Connor Clark is here, says he's a big fan of the videos. Thanks for watching, Connor. I appreciate that. Grunge Truck, remember the M16A2? Got a little sand or dirt in the bolt and wouldn't fire. You know, that's kind of an urban legend, truthfully. And it goes back to the early days of the M16. That's something that I really need to cover one of these days. Currently, the M16/AR-15 is potentially the most reliable military rifle out there because of the closed system. Patty Leather says German ancestry is second largest ethnic group in America. Yeah, I'm of German descent, if you couldn't tell by the last name. Joe Morgan, really miss alcohol, but I'm sure it still tastes as good as I remember. Too bad, Joe. And Pete Shore spent 4 years in Germany also. Hopefully we'll have some people from Germany join us this evening. That would be kind of fun. Kathleen, music lover, did you finally come around to the Glock? No. Much to the chagrin of Skip Voyer, who may be joining us this evening too. Rock 2980 says, good evening, relatively new to the channel. Thanks for joining, Rock. Appreciate that. Chase Kelly was invited to a shooting competition in Germany when I visited Kiel during the Navy deployment, G3 at 1,000 meters. That reminds me, I got to tell this story because this is something Jeff Cooper wrote about this in one of his books, and it always comes to mind when I think of Oktoberfest, beer, shooting. He was in, I think it was Switzerland, at a shooting competition there, and he talks about the firing point was on the side of a particular mountain, and the targets were on the side of another mountain, so they were shooting through the valley between the mountains at the targets. And next to each firing position, there was a small table. And he was confused by that. When he saw it, he didn't know what the table was for, so he asked somebody, hey, why is there a small table next to each of the firing points? And they said, well, that's where you set your beer when you're shooting. That way, when you're done, you can pick it up and start drinking. Again, far be it from me to mix the idea of handling firearms with drinking alcohol, but at the same time, something about that just sounds fun. Okay, back to the comments here. Ben Crane, don't do any Oktoberfest beers, or don't have any Oktoberfest beers in stock right now, but have one that I can't pronounce that hopefully is going to be good. Joe Morgan is a recovering alcoholic. Okay, good for you, and I hope that continues. Good luck. Patty Leather, German and Italian weapons are the best in my opinion. Some are very good. I certainly agree with that. It's hard for me to pick a particular nationality and say that firearms from that country are better than others, because everyone has some really good ones, and everybody seems to have a few that maybe they should have thought a little bit longer before they started to churn those out. And I'm going to try to catch up with the comments here again. Jeff Tim served 39 months in West Germany, which no longer exists. Yeah, you're dating yourself a little bit there, Jeff, when you start talking about West Germany and East Germany. If you talk to some youngsters nowadays, they might not have any idea what you're talking about. By the way, do you guys remember the East German judges back during the Olympics where they were like completely the opposite of all the other judges? It used to be kind of a joke. I sort of miss that. It was kind of funny, actually. I don't miss East Germany. I don't miss people being oppressed or anything like that, but it was just kind of humorous back during the Olympics back during the day. Luke B., you know who else was stationed in Germany for a while? Michael Peterson. Okay. Dan the Wolfman just looked at a Stoger slash Beretta 8000F Cougar, kind of liked it. Might bid on it to make bids with. Okay, good. Ben Crane is still yelling at me about the HKP30. Sorry, Ben. I appreciate you loaning it to me, though. Jay Simpson, thoughts on the new Shield Plus versus the P365? Um, waving hand from Mississippi, a waving hand back. I've not fired or really handled the new Shield Plus much. I had one of the original Shields for quite a few years. It was a good pistol. When I got my Hellcat, the Hellcat is a little bit smaller, a little easier to carry. I ended up trading the Shield, so I don't have that anymore. I'm going to have to wait and see if I can get my hands on one of the Shield Plus pistols before I can really try to give you an opinion on that. Jeff Tim, anyone experience with the new modular Beretta APX? I see mixed reviews. I would like to get my hands on an APX. I would really like to try one of those once. I think they're kind of cool looking. I like Berettas in general, so I would like to try one of those. I've handled them, I've just never fired one. Luke B, HR Funk, check out the Netflix series The Staircase if you and or your wife like true crime mysteries. Okay, I'll do that. Patty Leather, Small Arms Solution, did a great video years ago about the M16 scandal in Vietnam. Yeah, it was a debacle when it was first introduced, but really it has the problems that existed with the original M16s have been remediated to this point. And again, it really is one of the most reliable military firearms out there at this point. Janice Wyden, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Enjoyed your single action army video very much. I think you must mean the single action self defense. That was actually a Ruger Blackhawk that I was using. But thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Ben Crane, at least you hate Glocks more. Yeah, it's probably not accurate to say that I hate Glocks. I don't prefer Glocks. I've talked about this many times in the past. They are very good firearms. They're very reliable. They definitely put bullets where you need to put bullets. If you have any modicum of attention as far as your marksmanship is concerned, but I just don't care for them. They don't fit my hand well. They don't point naturally for me. I've talked about it many, many times. There are just other firearms that I prefer. So I kind of have a little bit of fun now and then poking fun at the Glock fans out there. It is all in good fun. I don't begrudge them. Skip, I don't begrudge you your Glock pistols. I'm glad they work well for you. I just like to use other things. Dixum 2010, HR Funk. Have you ever shot a 1911 with any type of 40 caliber? And if so, what did you think of it? No, I have not shot a 40 caliber 1911. I've shot 9 millimeters. I've shot the 10 millimeter. I've shot the 45. Obviously, I've shot a 38 Super, but I have not shot one chambered for the 40 Smith and Wesson. Chris S is here. Thanks for joining us, Chris. I should say Chris S 1911. Bill Thomas purchased a 1917 30-06 sporterized, no drilling, second owner, 150 yards, open sight, 4-inch group. That's about right for one of those. So good. Too bad it was sporterized. I wouldn't mind having a 1917 that was an original military configuration. I've come across a sporterized one now and again, and I'm holding out to try to get one that is still in its original condition. Dan the Wolfman, thoughts on the Manhurin made by Walther PP 32, and I don't really know anything about those. Sorry. Luke B recently acquired a 1903 Colt pocket hammerless. Is it one of the new ones or one of the originals? Because I know they did a reissue of those a couple of years ago. Cool pistols either way. Patty Leather, HR Funk, what's your opinion on those who think the 7.62 by 51 is better than a pea shooter 5.56 for military use? It's hard to generalize because so much of it depends on what type of an engagement you're talking about. If it's something with any kind of distance involved, absolutely 7.62 by 51 is going to be a better option. For up close and personal, the lighter recoil and faster handling of the 5.56 rifles is probably going to be an advantage. So everything depends on the exact scenario that you're discussing. Patrick Edwards is here, late to the party. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I will. Ben Crane, are you still interested in doing an Air Marshal's Qual with the SIG 239? Yes, I am. And if we can ever get together and I can get that from you, I would be happy to. Luke B, HR Funk, it's an original made in 1905. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. That is really cool. Made in 1905, needs some work, but I wanted it badly. Well, good. I hope you can get it up and running and it works well for you. Don't listen to the internet hype. Within 300 yards, 5.56 will do its job. I agree. I absolutely agree. And that's one of the things I think, for anything that is relatively close range, the 5.56 is perfectly effective. And it has all the other advantages of being lighter recoil, lighter ammunition, lighter firearms, all that kind of thing. Jeff Tim says, be careful, I saw a Remington Model 30 Bolt listed as a sporterized 1917. That figures. Dan the Wolfman, 357 SIG, for a decent bidding price. Okay. Jay Simpson, are you keeping track of the hunt for Brian? I don't know if you'd pronounce his last name Laundry or Landry. If so, as a law enforcement officer yourself, how do you feel it's being handled? I've got a lot of mixed feelings on that whole situation. I can empathize with the officers early on who really didn't have anything to base some sort of, taking him into custody or anything like that with. At this point, I've got my own ideas as to what I think is going on with that guy. I don't think I'm going to make those known right now. If he is located, hopefully, the investigation can progress and it can finally be determined what happened to that poor young lady. But like I said, I'm not going to go too much into that. Ben Crane, I'll have to check out the 357 SIG listings. Okay, looks like he's talking to Dan the Wolfman. All right. So while everyone else is talking, I'm going to have another sip of my Oktoberfest here. some other things of interest with regard to the channel. I am closing in on 40,000 subscribers. So how cool is that? I've been watching it. I'm at like 39,300 and something at the moment, or the last time I looked. So that's extremely cool. I'm kind of looking forward to maybe topping 40,000 and starting the march toward 50,000. I've talked about this many times in the past, and when I first started the channel, I didn't know if anybody would subscribe, let alone 40 or 50,000 people. So now I'm kind of curious to see just exactly how far this is going to go. If you have people out there that are interested in firearms or you think might be interested in the content, if you want to suggest they take a look at some of the videos, who knows, maybe we'll get some more subscribers that way. That would be kind of cool. Oh, by the way, my channel members, again, I'm up to about 50 channel members right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are great. That really helps to keep the ad revenue coming in, even when YouTube is demonetizing the videos, like I talked about a little while ago. So I really, really appreciate all of you who have joined as members. Thank you very much. And I'm going to go back over here and see what other comments we might have. Joe Morgan, any exciting gun-related plans? Oh yeah, I'm going to hopefully pick up a new firearm tomorrow that you're going to see in a review coming up in the very near future. This is one that I'm looking forward to. I'm going to have some fun with the review. You might see HR FUD again. You might even see HR Tactical in that video. So going to have some fun with that one. It should be a good review. It's one that I've been looking forward to for a while. So like I said, I'm going to be picking that up tomorrow, but I'm not going to let you know what it is. KJ Stanley, any advice for someone thinking about going to the police academy? Oh man, it it's funny because it doesn't seem like it's been 30 something years since I went to the police academy, and I remember being that young man fresh out of the Marine Corps, couldn't wait to get there, couldn't wait to get out and start a career in law enforcement. I think my best advice to you would be listen to your instructors, listen to the things that they've learned. You know, they will give you tips, they will explain things, they will tell you things. Um, that is knowledge born of experience. You know, take that to heart, and when you finally leave the academy and you go out on your own and you start to work in the field, uh, be mindful of the fact that you are serving your community. Ultimately, you are working for the people in your community. And again, keep that always in mind, and that will help guide you when you're out there working on the street. And where was I here? It looks like we had a lot of comments come in all of a sudden. And Luke B says, congrats, I've been on YouTube for 15 years, and you're one of my favorites. Thank you. Thank you very much. Andrew Peterman is here. Thanks for joining us, Andrew. Lonnie Porter is here. Says, greetings from the People's Republic of Oregon. Thanks for joining us, Lonnie. Stuart Holden's looking forward to seeing HR Tactical. And Dan the Wolfman's looking forward to seeing HR FUD. And those are always fun, so I am looking forward to that too. And ERJG is here. How about that? Thanks for joining, ER. And he's talking about lots of 32 ACP on MOC. By the way, ERJG just purchased a new firearm. He sent me a picture of it today, so I'll keep that confidential for now. ER, if you want to make that known, by all means do so. Luke B says, how about the president lying about the Border Patrol agents? Ain't that something? Yep, sure is. By the way, how about one of my daughter's cats just made it out through the door. How about the president owing $500,000 in unpaid taxes? You know, the guy is always telling everybody else how they have to pay their fair share and all that. and he hasn't paid his fair share. So a little bit of hypocrisy there, I think. And Joe Morgan says, okay, looks like Joe Morgan is talking to ERJG. Lonnie Porter says, need more FUD. And Patty Leather says he ain't president. Unfortunately, we're stuck with him for a while. So, regardless of what anybody might think, it's going to be a long 3 years and whatever we've got, 3 months or something like that, until we look at somebody stepping in for a replacement. And truthfully, if something happens to him before that, you know who's going to be stepping into that role. So be careful what you wish for. Andrew Peterman says, looking at the 75 CZ75 BD. CZ75s are just great pistols. Pretty much any iteration you're looking at is going to work very well. I like my CZ75. I also very much like my CZP01. So any of those that you're looking at is probably going to be a very good pistol for you. Luke B says he ain't healthy enough to live that long. Another beautiful Ohio evening. It absolutely is. It's just absolutely gorgeous out here this evening. It was a perfect fall day today. It was sunny. It got nice and warm. Now it's cooling off a little bit. It's probably right around 70 degrees at the moment. No humidity whatsoever. It's absolutely gorgeous out here. So that's why I'm outside today. I really didn't want to be inside in front of the computer trying to do the live stream. And let me see where we were here. I'm sorry if I miss any of your comments. I'm trying to keep up with them. Resident burden. Ben Crane, how's the ammo prices coming your areas? Um, they're coming down. I'm seeing 9mm ammunition, box of 50 rounds of range ammunition in the $20 range. I'm seeing 556 ammunition that's getting down in about the $11, $12 range for some of the lesser expensive stuff. I actually ordered some 556 ammunition for Midway USA the other day. I got 540 rounds for just shy of $300. It was $289 or something like that. So the prices are slowly working their way down, and I'm glad to see that. And Luke B says he owns a CZ75 SP01. It's his favorite by far, and I can see why. Great pistols. Pete Shore, a friend of mine in North Carolina, spoke with a homeless Afghan living in the wood. Yeah, that situation in Afghanistan is just horrible. Yeah, it's funny because anybody can come into our country except Haitians. We're going to send them back, and people in Afghanistan that are American citizens, they can't. No, we're not going to worry about them. But anybody else, yeah, come on in. That's fine. Oh, by the way, and don't ride a horse around trying to corral these people because Joe Biden doesn't like that. Sorry, I don't mean to wax political here. Gerald B says, can't believe small game season opens on Friday. And the only ammo in Walmart is 762 by 51 Winchester. Really? I didn't know that. Of course, I don't buy ammo at Walmart, so I wouldn't know. Stuart Holden would love to see the Smith & Wesson 5904 come out again. It may well. I really like that pistol. I like my Smith & Wesson 3rd gens, so you might see that one in the near future. Lonnie Porter going with the 25th Amendment. I don't have high hopes for that. Sorry. David Hamilton, hey HR, if you ever get down towards Chattanooga, I make beer and we'll hook you up. Thank you, David. Appreciate that. I've never been to Chattanooga. My wife and I, a few weeks ago, went down to Louisville, Kentucky. I realize that's not in Tennessee, but went down to Louisville, had a great trip down there. It's a lot of fun. It was our 20th wedding anniversary. That's why we went down there. Had a great weekend. So I enjoy going down, Tennessee, Kentucky, that area. Nashville is one of my all-time favorite towns. When I went down there for the NRA annual meeting a couple of years ago, I just fell in love with it. Fantastic town. So when I get a chance to get down into that area, I always try to take advantage of it. And where were we? 762 by 39 is being eradicated. Yeah, well, with the moratorium on Russian ammo imports, that's going to put a crimp in things. The Fly Attractor says, couldn't believe that you could at one point buy ammo off Amazon. I don't remember that. I don't remember buying ammo or seeing ammo for sale on Amazon. Academy has 9mm ball for $15. That's a pretty good price currently. I'm Joe Biden and I forgot the message. Yeah, I know, Joe. I know the stuff about the horses was BS. Dan the Wolfman says should probably make a DA/SA versus striker vid pros and cons. I'm thinking about doing something like that in the not too distant future. That's one of those things that's been on the back burner for a while that I've just got so many other things that I'm working on video wise that I haven't made it there yet. I'm gonna try to get this duck to Pilot. Have you ever done any videos about flintlocks? I bought a traditionalist flintlock pistol recently. Still learning about. No, I haven't. I've got muzzle loaders. I've got traditional muzzle loaders, but I don't have any flintlocks. I would like to get one. I'd like to shoot one sometime, so I think it would be fun. But currently, I don't own any. At least one day, Joe Biden and my 4-year-old will say the same thing. Jeff Barron is here. Thanks for joining us, Jeff. Says Smith & Wesson Collectors Association or Symposium is this week in Tulsa. That's cool. I didn't know that. A little too far for me to make it to, but that's cool. Andy is saying take care, so he must be leaving us. Take care, Andy. Thanks for joining. Jim Skeldag says, what is your view on the lockdown policing going on in some of the Australian states? I think it's awful. I think so much of the stuff going on with the whole COVID frenzy is just absolutely ridiculous. I don't think there's a lot of thought giving to anything. It's all emotion driven, and I just think it's ridiculous. Jeff Tim, the whole horse thing is eco wackos trying to eliminate the. I know, the whole thing was dumb. We used to raise horses, my family, when I was a kid. I've raised horses, trained horses, ridden horses. I know exactly what those people were doing on the horses, and the fact that it was characterized the way it was absolutely silly. William Barnett is here. Thanks for joining, William. Lonnie Porter says Australia has gone full-on communist. Hard to argue with that. And Joe Morgan says he's proud the Australians are fighting back. So I think I'm caught up with the comments. How about, there comes one from Patrick Edwards. We're going to try hand at revolver hunting. Good for you. Got an anaconda. I have done quite a bit of revolver hunting over the years. Back in the early 90s, when handguns were first allowed for deer hunting here in Ohio, I started to hunt with 44 Magnums, and I've taken several deer with various different 44 Magnums. I've taken some with 357 Maxis. It's a lot of fun. It's challenging, and so good for you. I don't know why I'm losing my voice, but I'm glad you're taking advantage of that. Dan the Wolfman says, hey, our 745 is pretty collectible, rare nowadays. Same with the Walther P88. The 745 is kind of collectible. I think the problem with the 745 is it's not very well known by a lot of people, and so a lot of people just don't know what it is. So I've got one. I've got one of the first year commemorative versions with the gold. What's the word I'm looking for? the gold inlay on the side. And I'm glad that I have it, but there's a lot of people that just aren't too familiar with those. With the Walther P88, not sure about that one. Mike Whitehouse is here, says hi from Southern Arizona. Hi, Mike. Hope you're doing well. Mike Burnett is here, says afternoon, Marine. Afternoon to you, Semper Fi. Peter Monk says, appreciate you sharing your knowledge and experience. You're welcome, Peter. And what I always think about is I have had the benefit of a lot of taxpayer funded training over the years, a lot. So if I can give some of that back to the people that have actually funded that training, that's what I'm looking to do with the videos. And I when I do the instructive videos where I'm talking about reloading techniques or different types of sighting techniques for the AR-15 or something like that, that's really what I'm trying to do is give people the benefit of some of that training that I've had. So hopefully it will benefit you as well. And I lost my place here. The fly attractor says support deer hunting, help keep the population under control, weed out the suicidal ones that hang out by the highway. Yeah. Lonnie Porter, deer season opens this coming weekend. We'll be carrying a 20 gauge and your Vaquero. Good. And I think bow season is in here now, but the gun season is always the first week of December, so we got a while to go before that comes in around Ohio. Sergeant Major Trapp is here. Thanks for joining, Sergeant Major. Says my Labrador Retriever could have come up with a better exit strategy than Comrade Biden. I'm sure he could have. Dan the Wolfman doesn't have a gold logo. Looks like a normal Smith, not a 1911 style. Maybe I'm confused. The 745 was basically the single action version of the 645. Second generation pistol, has the wooden panels. They were two-tone with blued slide over stainless steel frame. So if that sounds familiar, that might be what you have. If not, you might have something else. Robert Graham says, build a national match with the Rock River Arms upper, trigger, and Nibix parts, and a strip PSA lower. It's a tack driver. Thanks, HR Funk. You're welcome. And that sounds like a good selection of parts you've got in that. Lonnie Porter, got a lot out of your LEO training series. Good. I'm glad that was kind of a labor intensive series, and I've said before I really didn't know what I was getting myself into when I started that, but I'm glad people get something out of that. Mike Burnett, how's the progress on the rifle and/or shotgun qualification course series coming? I haven't done much with that yet because I've been doing so many other things. I hope to get to that in the future, but we'll see. Roy Kiefer is here. Thanks for joining us, Captain. I appreciate you being here. Um, Roy is, for you folks that read the comments in the videos, Roy has some very insightful comments, particularly with regard to some of the inner workings of government purchasing and acquisitions and things like that. He had one on the video from yesterday that I posted that I thought was a tremendous comment. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much, Roy. I really feel like I want to give you a call one of these days and discuss that further because I find it fascinating. I've read a lot about particularly firearms acquisition, but it's been from years ago. And with your knowledge of more recent acquisitions of much more expensive weapon systems, I think it would just be a fascinating conversation. So again, thank you very much, Roy, for your contributions. And now I'm lost again. Dan the Wolfman, during action pistol or shoot and move stuff, I'm shooting a bit left fast a few times. And probably what you're doing is anticipating your recoil a little bit and doing a little bit of pre-ignition push. Usually, if you are hitting low and to the left for a right-handed shooter, that's the cause of it. Lawrence Page, thanks for all the great videos. You're welcome. Thanks for watching. Uh, Duct Tape Pilot says, may have already answered, but what kind of beer are you drinking? I am having a Breckenridge Brewery Oktoberfest. And that's why I titled this the Oktoberfest live stream, because that's what I'm having with me out here this evening. Mike Whitehouse, yes, the LEO series was excellent. Good, good. Thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it. Sergeant Major Trapp once had a U.S. March Colt 1903-32 back in the 70s. Looks like that comment ended, but good. I'm glad you had one. Roy Kiefer, you're always welcome to be in touch. Good. Thank you, Roy. I appreciate that. Steve Robertson, when you make it to Dallas, you must try a Velvet Hammer Amber Ale. All right. And I mentioned very early in the video, I think my favorite Oktoberfest this year was a Shiner Oktoberfest. And that comes from down in Texas. I'm not sure exactly where, but it's a Texas brewery, and it was very good this year. Chris S. is leaving us. Thanks for being here, Chris. Thanks for joining. Have a good evening. Brian Harris, love HR Funk. Best videos, period. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Steve Robertson says in Shiner, Texas. Okay. HR, have you ever shot either a 945 or a 52? No, I have not. I coveted a 945 back in the days when they were made, but I've never shot one. I've handled them several times, but I've never shot one. Same thing with a 52. I've handled them, but I've never shot them. I hope to maybe someday. All right, here's the Sergeant Major's comment in full. It says he had the 1903 Colt 32. These were General Officer pistols. I think I knew that at one point. Also OSS, precursor to the CIA. Traded it. I'm right there with you, Sergeant Major. I've done the same thing and then kicked myself for things that I've traded later on. Dexum 2010. Have you ever seen any of the Turkish Browning high power clones made by TSIS? I have, and I don't really have an opinion on them. I haven't shot one, but they seem to have a pretty good reputation out there. So maybe if I can get my hands on one someday, I can let you know what I think of it. Duct Tape Pilot, love the channel, inherited a Mint Series 70 Colt 45, fired it maybe 10 times. That's very cool. Very cool that you have a classic 1911, so good for you. Dan the Wolfman, have you ever had any Colt double action revolvers like Detective, King Cobra, or whatever? I actually used one during the law enforcement qualification series. I used a Colt Trooper that was loaned to me by ERJG, and nice revolver, very nice revolver. For me, I'm so used to the Smith & Wesson action that when I use something different, it feels odd to me. There was nothing wrong with that Colt revolver. It was just not what I was used to. So when I shot it, it just felt a little strange. But absolutely good revolver. And I've shot a Python before too, a long time ago. And that was a very nice revolver also. Jeff Barron, maybe need to run up there and bring some coveted gun. Thanks, Jeff. I'll be looking forward to it. Let me know when you're coming. Joe Morgan, HR Funk, hard times are reasons that I've traded and rebuilding the collection. I know, and I've done that too. And you know, you get firearms and you think, okay, I think I can live without this, and there's something else I really want, and you trade it, and then later on you think, I really wish I still had that back here. So we've all done that. At least any of us that have amassed any kind of a collection of firearms. So we all feel that pain, I guess. Subman719 is here, says just tuning in. Thanks for joining, Subman. I appreciate it. By the way, I'm very appreciative of all the current and former military members that are here that follow the channel, current and former law enforcement officers that are here. You guys are tremendous. I feel like I learn as much or I get as much information from all of you. And I was talking about this with Roy a little while ago. I get so much information from all of you coming back in that I almost feel guilty, like maybe I'm not uh, uh, presenting enough or putting enough out there that you're getting shortchanged a little bit. Mike Thomas is here. Very good. Thanks for joining us, Mike. Says he's done that. Yeah, we all have, like I said. Robert Graham, what are your thoughts on the Ruger P85 MK2? No experience with it whatsoever. Sorry, so I can't really give you an opinion on that. Sergeant Major Trapp, have a nice original 1903. Okay, good. So you still have one. Mid 20s. Okay, looks like he's responding to somebody else there. Mike Whitehouse, many good stories begin with, I wish I still had. Yeah, I know. I know. Go Brog says, so is Ben a rock star yet? I wish he was. He's a phenomenal musician. I love to listen to him play. I love to listen to my daughter play the piano. So I really am blessed in that both of my children are extremely talented musicians. They did not get that from me. I don't know where it came from. I can't play anything. I bought a guitar from a pawn shop when I was in the Marine Corps with the idea that I was going to learn to play it. I didn't learn to play it. I took it back and pawned it at that same pawn shop about a year after I bought it. So that was the extent of my uh, uh, foray into being a musician. Pete Shore, you're putting out the best reviews. Thank you. Thank you very much. Joe Morgan, neither an LEO, present or former, same for military, but love the freedom of America. And absolutely, and I don't want to, please don't misunderstand anyone who's not been in the military, not been in law enforcement. I don't disregard you as viewers or anything else. I very much value you as well. So don't take my comments as being some sort of a slight toward you. Good. We've got Old Style 1951. Says, greetings from Germany. Greetings to you. This is the Oktoberfest live stream, so I'm not sure if you're an American in Germany or if you're actual German, but I am enjoying an Oktoberfest here as I sit here and do the live stream. So thank you very much for joining us. Other good stories start with watch this, yeah. Some not so good stories start with that too. Mike Burnett, if you were forced to choose between an 8-shot revolver like the Smith 627 and a standard 1911 with the same capacity as a duty gun, which would you choose and why? Wow. I may well go with the 8-shot 627, truthfully. With full power 357s, 8-shot, all the reliability of the revolver, I might well go with that wheel gun. And now I'm lost again. Chris Chiampo is here. Thanks for joining us, Chris. Mike Walters, gotta love Sam Adams Oktoberfest. I had a Sam Adams the other day, and it was okay, but it wasn't my favorite. I actually like this Breckenridge Brewery a little bit better. And again, the Shiner this year, and it seems like they change a little bit every year, but the Shiner was really good this year. Tyler Friel, how was the vest mounted holster? Holding up great. I wear it almost every day when I'm working. It's fantastic. So I really like that Alien Gear holster. Roy Kiefer owned a M1908 in 380, which is essentially the same as a Colt 1903. Um, this was father's daily unauthorized FBI carry weapon. Frankly, could compare favorably to modern 380s. And I think that's true. I think there are some older designs that really still hold their own pretty well against a lot of the modern designs. So I believe that very much, Roy. Sergeant Major Trapp, have still to have and still do own a 40 Smith & Wesson 1911 Springfield EMP 3-inch. Shoots well, has night sights. I think they offer a 4-inch version these days. By the way, I kind of like that Springfield Ronin that I see out there. It comes in 9 millimeter, I think 45 and maybe 10 millimeter, and there's a commander size version. If I come across one of those for a good price, you might see that on the channel coming up. And Mike Burnett says he might go with the 627 as well. Trick would be whether or not to carry moon clips. I'd probably go with the moon clips. I tend to like moon clips actually. Dexum 2010, between the High Point C9 and any gun chambered in 45 gap, uh, which one would you dislike less? I would probably go with something chambered for the 45 gap just because I've not had good experience with the High Points. But I probably am not going to be adding either one of those to my collection anytime soon. Ben Crane is leaving us for dinner time. Good evening, Ben. Thanks for joining. Have a good dinner. Chris Giampo, pumpkin pie shine is where it's at. Dan the Wolfman, 250 rounds of 45 gap, super cheap on Gunbroker. That's probably true because there's probably not a big demand for it. Lonnie Porter, Oregon's microbrews are fantastic. Well, I'm glad something's good there. Fearless in, I'm going to mispronounce this, Estacada Brews, beautiful Scottish ale. Good. Cianato, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Any thoughts on the Chiappa revolvers? I've handled them. I've never shot one, so I really can't tell you anything about them from firsthand experience. I know they have a very loyal following, but I just can't tell you anything personally about them. RT Curtis is here, says hello, just saw the M&P 2.0 review, 9mm, full size with full front serrations. And that review is now probably 4.5 years old. So I'm glad you saw it. I'm glad you liked it. But yeah, that's definitely one that I made quite a while back. Jeff Tim is leaving us. Good evening, Jeff. Thanks for joining. And we are at 52 minutes. So I'm probably going to wrap this up right around the 1 hour mark. So if you've got any last minute questions or comments you want to get in, throw those out. But probably another 7 or 8 minutes here and I'll wrap things up. And RT Curtis, no, this is a new model. Oh, okay, I thought you were talking about my review on the M&P 2.0, so I apologize for that. Roy Kiefer, Concerning Oregon Brews, really like Rogue Brewery's 6 Hops IPA. I'm not familiar with that one. If I ever come across it, might have to give it a try. And I like trying different IPAs, so we'll see. And Sergeant Major Trapp is talking to Roy. Oops, Patrick Edwards had a comment there, and it just went away. Jeff Barron says, when I come up there, I should bring a Model 41. By all means, bring one. That's another one of those pistols that I've never shot. I see them out there. The price has kind of kept me away from them. But I always kind of wanted to shoot one just to see what the accuracy is really like. I've shot Model 17s in the past, so I know what the Smith revolver accuracy is like. It would be kind of fun to shoot the Model 41 and see how those do. And let's see. Conversation is going on between some of you there, so I'll just wait for something else to roll up there. Chris Giampo, what's your opinion on the 41 Magnum in the Smith & Wesson? Several years ago, I really wanted to get a 41 Magnum. I thought it was going to be something that would be kind of fun to use for hunting. I ended up never getting one, but the ballistics of the 41 Magnum are interesting. One of the things I like about the 10mm is it's coming close to those 41 Magnum ballistics in a semi-auto pistol. I do have some 10mm, but I can't really give you any firsthand experience with the 41 Magnum because I ended up just never buying one. Mike Thomas looking hard at some 2011s and 9mm. Have you shot any? No, I've handled them. I've looked at them. I've not shot any yet. They've been getting a lot of very good commentary here lately, but I don't have any experience with those either, other than just handling them in the store. Mike Burnett, I'd be curious to see someone else do an objective low light comparison between the night sight equipped gun and a gun with a bright white sights, like the standard Glock night sights, etc. Um, I have not done any low light videos, and largely because with my equipment, if I try to go out and shoot when it's dark, all you're going to see is a black screen that's occasionally illuminated by a muzzle flash. So I don't really have the equipment to go out and shoot in low light, and that's why I haven't done that over the years. But I agree that would be kind of interesting to see just what the difference would be. Joe Morgan, 41 Magnum's a nice round, but the 44 is the standard now. Yeah, the 41 is one of those cartridges, kind of like the 38 Super, that's got a loyal following, but it really is not a growing following. Lonnie Porter, HR, do you do archery? I probably could not hit this wall from where I'm sitting right here if I turned around with a bow and arrow. When I was a kid, I did some archery, I did some bow hunting. I had a pretty spectacular miss of a buck one time that was pretty close with a bow and arrow, and I really have not done much bow hunting or any kind of archery since then. And this is actually working out pretty well because it looks like I'm going to finish up my hour live stream just about the time I finish up my Oktoberfest here. So that's going to work out just about right. Dan the Wolfman, bright orange front sight, front night sight with Brax, I can't talk, black serrated rear, subdued rear night sights like the XS R3D. Seem best to me for carry. Okay. Joe Morgan, I think what makes a round good or bad depends on the weapon that's stuffed in. A firearm and the ammunition are a system. It's really difficult to make a poor round good with a good firearm. So I'm not sure that I'm in agreement with you there, Joe. Patrick Edwards, looks like there's a conversation going on there. Lonnie Porter is leaving us. My lovely wife is home, so that's what you hear, the door opening and closing.
Hey, honey.
And for all of you, that's Mimi. So anyone that wants to give her a shout out, by all means do. But she's probably not going to give you a kiss on the cheek. If she does, I'm not going to be happy about that.
Oh, no, goodbye.
Let's see. Joe Morgan says hi, Mimi. Mike Burnett says aw. Sergeant Major Trap. Okay, looks like that's another conversation going on. Chris Giampo says hi, Mimi. Everybody always gets excited when she shows up, and then they forget about me. So that's.
Well, and you should get excited when I show up.
Well, yes. So yeah. Roy Kiefer says shout out for sure. Art Grode, hi Mimi. uh, yes, caught in the backyard drinking a beer and BSing. Yep, that's me. All right, everybody, we're at just about an hour, so I think I am going to wrap things up. Again, thanks to all of you. Thanks to all of you for joining. Thanks for watching. This was a lot of fun, and I always like to add this at the end of every one of my live streams. You know, I so appreciate all of you for watching the videos, for commenting on the videos. Those of you who have become members, again, thank you so much for everything you do. It's just a tremendous experience. The reason I make these videos is because of all the interaction that I have with all of you. Believe me, it's not because I like fighting with you two. But all of you have a great evening. We'll do this again sometime. And until next time, good shooting. And now I got to try to figure out how to shut this thing off. Let's see. All right, here we go. See you all later.